Announcements from anyone here today? I
Hi,
saw it.
Doctor.
Okay, go ahead.
I had a very, very short dream, but very intense, Friday into Saturday night. It's not a vision of the future. It's actually one in the past, I think. The dream was kind of like it was after the crucifixions of Jesus, and he was already taken off the cross and taken somewhere to be prepared to be put in the grave. So the women, Mary Magdalene, I didn't see her, but I could see Mary. She was preparing the linen, and the body was sitting on a slab. And there were people, people standing, people sitting on the ground, and some people coming on the road. It was kind of like a going up road full of dust. And it was hot, like people were tired, full of dust, and it was kind of like a lineup forming, a short lineup. And there was someone in front of me, and I could see. So he went and sort of kind of to say goodbye or pay his respects. And then it was me, but I wasn't sure whether I would be allowed to be there because I was the only one that was out of place. But Mary sort of like kind of not nodded, but looked at me. So then I was able to go and I put my hand on his right shoulder. And then I kind of moved on and nobody said anything. They were just watching. But I was really weird about it. So everybody was dusty, tired, and they looked poor. But I was the only one who was in Roman garb and looked very clean, like no dust on me and kind of very well. And I was allowed to go and kind of be close and touch him. And it kind of ended there.
Well, that wasn't a dream.
What do you mean?
That was a memory.
Oh, really?
You were there. I listened carefully, as probably everybody else did. You described this in detail. You described how other people look poor. You described yourself as being a rather wealthy Roman. And that's why everybody was looking at you, because you would be out of place.
Yeah.
You were. They were poor, working class people that were bearing, for all intents and purposes, a criminal. Be the last place people or aristocrats would want to go. But you were a believer. So you were there. That was a memory. That wasn't a dream at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see
Yeah.
me?
No, but I remember a question kind of came up. So, why do you follow? That was a question. And I answered, because they preach kindness.
So you were remembering a question you were asked, like, why do you follow, you rich lady, you? Why are you following this poor guy? And you said, because they, meaning the Christians, although they weren't really called Christians at the time, they were called the followers of Christ, but follower
Yeah.
of Noah, actually. And so because they preach kindness, compassion, that's exactly what that we're all about. Very good. And it's appropriate that you would have a memory just a few days ago, because here we are celebrating what? The time just before his
Yeah.
crucifixion. So the question is, have you ever been to Rome? Ever wanted to go back to Italy or anything? What do you think of
Um,
Italy?
no, but I always liked the Middle East for some reason. So if I was a Roman, I was probably living in the Middle East somewhere. And I
Well,
like the desert, so dust, sand, which is kind of at odds with most people. I never heard anyone saying, "Okay, I like dust and sand," but I like it for some reason.
obviously, if you were there when you were in Jerusalem and you were on Golgotha, the skull mountain where he was crucified, or You were at the sepulcher wherever he was buried. You were an early Christian.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for telling us that story.
Yeah, it was very vivid and a lot of details. Like I remember
You
a
were
lot
there.
of details.
That's right. It was a memory, not a dream. This is a past experience recall while you're sleeping. That's why you remember all the details, because it was real life.
Yep.
Okay, I don't think anybody else can top that today, but